The state of South Dakota receives, I don't recall, and I have a reason for that. I'm an elder. If it was $74,000 a year or $79,000 a year for each Indian foster child that is not in the Indian family. And the governor utilizes the money for the state. And in addition to that, he also has some type of contract with a pharmaceutical company. Because our culture is different, all of a sudden we have all these different labels. And so let's try this pill on these kids. Lakota Law Project. I would suggest you look it up because it's still happening today. Native children being tested, states being given money by the federal government for every child that is out of in a non-native home. Even though we do have the Child Welfare Act, it's not working. You know, I have given testimony on so many different laws that are put into place that does help protect our ancestors, archaeologically sensitive areas, water. In our language, water is Ramah. Ramah is just not H2O. Ramah is the movement of the water. It's a sound of the water. It's the creek that contains the water. They are one and inseparable. And there's no word in the English language that describes our definition as Ramah. So it is very different. Words are very, very important because that's where you're coming from. That's how you think. We are one and inseparable. We are all connected. And I am finding that it is ceremonies that is helping. I believe I'm a walking proof of it. End of last November, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I had a biopsy, and I had 2 tumors in my right breast. Both were malignant. Then I had precancerous cells. And so my primary doctor, she's very good. She is a Russian woman that is primarily a chemist. And then I had 3 appointments with my surgeon. And then I had an appointment set up for a reconstructionist, plastic surgeons. And I also had, during the interim, taking 8 turkey tails, which gave me so much energy. It was unbelievable. And it's a mushroom plant that Paul Steinman's created for his mother. And he's a mushroom guru. He's absolutely brilliant in that sense. And then Dr. Cornelis, this is Monterey Peninsula Community Chumps. She's right there at the very top. She said, Anne-Marie, I'm going to send your culture over to another lab. It's a 3-week turnaround, but I really want to see what's going on. And so during the interim, with all the ceremonies that were taking place, with all the prayers that were taking place, when she got the result back, I'm at low risk. And so the power of ceremony and prayer is just put it out there, let it connect, and it's amazing. Also, what I'm finding, I mentioned that I opened up my great-grandfather's trust allotment to all indigenous people whom are in need of traditional lands for ceremony. I am witnessing young people, young Ohlone descendants from the Bay Area, from Monterey Peninsula, from Watsonville, Salinas, going up on a hill and partaking in a 4-day vision quest, our nature quest. I will tell you what I have witnessed is Ohlone descendants coming down from the hill. And we have not had a speaker of our language since 1930. And we're in the process of revitalizing our language. And it's proven to be pretty challenging. But my daughter did a coloring book in her language, and she's right. She graduated from the Art Institute, and then she graduated from UC Berkeley, and focusing on language and also on social media. And she's good, I'll tell you. But see, I had to write notes down. What I am witnessing is Ohlone descendants coming down off the hill, off of a vision quest, or a Hamblecha, or a Hama, and that is 4 days without eating. You do have water, you do have a support system, you do have people singing songs to you. And you need that support because it's hard. It is really quite difficult. But they've come down off the hill and said, Anne Marie, this song came to me, and I don't know it. I've never heard it before. And he'll share with me what came to him, and it's amazing. There are words that I recognize in our Mutsun language. And so a lot of people think that our culture, our language, our way of thinking was lost, but oh no, it's just been dormant because I am seeing it come alive. And it is incredibly beautiful, I'll tell you that. And I just have one more story to share with you, and that is Garcia Bishop. He is the bishop at the Monterey Archdiocese. And he was very supportive of our ban fracking in San Benito County. He's been up to Indian Canyon for ceremony. And so I'm saying, now they're coming to me. I like that. I really do, I'll tell you. And in San Juan Bautista, there's an area called St. Francis Retreat. A few years ago, it burned down. And I was talking to an attorney that has done, I've worked a lot with, and that's Danny Sheehan. He's an incredibly brilliant man, and he has an office in Santa Cruz. And Danny graduated, he got his PhD in divinity from Harvard. He got his law degree from Harvard. So consequently, he knows quite a number of people that are located in the Vatican that he still is in communications with. And Danny brought to my attention what the latest possible relief of, let's see, the Pope is thinking about having a ceremony for relief of debt for all the Latin American countries. And the Latin, I don't know if you read it, Confessions of an Economic Hitman? Okay. And so there's so many Latin American companies that borrow money from different corporations, and they knew they couldn't pay them back, so naturally what they put up for collateral was the resources. So if the Pope does give a relief of debt to all the Latin American countries, and I asked Bishop Garcia, are you familiar with this story that I heard? And he said, oh dear. When St. Francis Retreat had their fire, we loaned them a lot of money. I wonder if they'll be released from their debt. It's just kind of interesting. But I'm looking forward to lunch right now, and I'm also looking forward to seeing those of you who would like to hear any more or have any questions this afternoon.